Well, good morning. I am back from week 2 of my firefighter training for the weekend. So we get back, plenty more to do when I get back. So I am chuffed to be back because I got a bit of a lie-in this morning. It was nice and chilled to wake up. So I can hear somebody pulling up. Just 1 second and I'll come back to you. It was the postman. So anyway, so I've got limited time because I've only got today, bit of tomorrow as well. So Becky did a great job of explaining what's going on in the building and the projection into the future. So yeah, doing the firefighter training has put a little bit of time away from the renovation, but so let's just get straight back on with it. Rebecca's doing me a bacon butty, so I've come out to get set up. So I've got my mixer. Basically I've got to put 2 windowsills on today and a little bit of a shutter at the front door here for the double doors. So I'm hoping to get this wrapped up for 9:15, get it done before midday. Various bits and bobs to do. If I can get the manhole shuttering done, possibly get that concrete in as well and get that backfilled. But yeah, it's great. It's just great to be back in my own space doing my own thing again. Yeah, it's an easy task really. I'm going to take it steady. I'm not going to load up as much. You know, I'm going to work smart, not hard. So we'll get a mix on of mortar. I'll get the 2 concrete sills on. Euan's bedroom window on the gable end, that needs raising up a little bit, so it needs a course of stone under. The whole push for this is, while I'm away next week doing my final week in training, Becky wants to get David here because he's our window man doing the windows and doors. So if he can come and do his final accurate measure, that is the goal basically, so that he can do that. Well, it's a pivotal moment really. When you think, well, we first got here and this was a doorway and the state of it in there, and now we're putting the sill, so it's great. So I've got Becky coming helping me because usually I'll just grab it and throw it on, but yeah, I'm learning. Get help, work as a team.
I have to just say a huge apology to the people at Gym Plus Coffee.
Well, Gym and Coffee.
Gym Plus Coffee.
Gym Plus Coffee, yeah.
Who gave us the gorgeous fleeces that I'm clearly ruining.
But he's doing the job, he's keeping us all warm.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go.
You can maybe grab it there.
Where?
So on the front, you don't be able to let go of it. Oh. Grab it at the back there with one hand.
I just had that. That's what I was just doing.
Don't be distracted.
You're in the right position.
Grab the... down. We got a bit of a stool.
What? What do you want? It's a flatter stone.
Are we level?
That looks level on there.
It does.
It's a little bit to this way. So that's
Okay, we want to tap. So we'll just get that mallet there. And just gently tap it down. That's it. You'll see the bubble come right to the middle. You want it bang on in the middle of those lines.
Oh, that's okay now. That looks middle. Yeah?
It's way up. So just chuck it underneath with some stones, so it doesn't
It's just to keep it in position. You don't have to jam them in, it's just to, while it's going off.
Well, you've got to put them in a little bit, surely.
There, like that. Just balance them in, it's just to stop it falling forward.
How's that?
That's it.
Yeah, I wish I would have just brought them flush. The other ones I have brought flush with a stone because I'm actually going to get a piece. We could use oak, but oak's very expensive. I'm going to use a piece of larch. And I'm going to shape it basically. I might even leave the live edge on, I'm not sure yet. But basically we're going to put it across there and it makes it look like it's a full timber beam. We could stain it with an oak stain to make it, give it that effect. But larch, you can get it an inch thick. It's bigger than an inch. Yeah, and there'll be a little bit of tweaking maybe with my trimming router and stuff like that, but that is going to look like a timber beam, and that'll be on all of the doorways and all of the headers of the windows to give it that cottage feel. So yeah, that's what's happening there, but with it being set back, I'll probably have to build it out with a bit of batten and then fix it, concrete screws into that, and then I'll plug and pellet the face piece on, and it'll look good. It'll look good. Anyway, on to the next bit. Both sills are now on, which is great. So I've started prepping on the front for the threshold. So just get my sand now, put that in, put my radon barrier in, get the insulation in, and then I'll get a mix of concrete on. And then that's another part of the puzzle done. There is Euan's window yet to tackle, but one thing at a time. Sills on, threshold, look at the time, and then move this scaffold round to the bottom of Euan's bedroom window. That'll do. So the door's probably going to be sat maybe 5-6 inches back from the front of the reveal here. So now it's got something to sit on. That was the whole point of this. So when we do like a little sunroom on the front here, and there's block work, then there'll be another slab. This slab will come through all of it. It'd be great to have done it all at once, but we haven't. But yeah, basically the floor going out into this outside area up to the blockwork wall will be all this height. This was just so we can get the doors and windows in, get this place watertight, concentrate on the house. This could come after, way after, maybe even in the summer. Maybe after that, I don't know. But Becky, I think Becky will want it before that. But voila, another bit done. So got the sills on, got this little bit done. Just going to put the accessory now in my grinder and do a bit of feathering on the doorways like I shown earlier. Obviously I've cut everything back, but this is very rough. I mean, there's that, yeah, it wants feathering basically. So I have a tool on my grinder, concrete feathering tool. So I'm going to feather all that off completely. And then there's another part of the puzzle done. That one's the same, that sill over there. It's where the threshold of the door is going to be. Just smooth off that concrete. The daylight's probably got an hour and a half left, so I'm not going to start the other sill. What I'll do though is drop the scaffold and get my platform set up. If I have to put a piece of wood in just to replicate it, then I will. But if I've got time tomorrow, I'll break it off with a breaker and try not to crack the sill. and then lift it up and do a bit of stonework. But we'll see tomorrow. Just get these next bits done, and I'm happy with that. Got loads done today. It'll be early night tomorrow because I'll be back off up north early hours of the morning for week 3 of training. So I'm quite looking forward to it. It ain't a walk in the park, I tell you that. It's not easy. But yeah, chuffed with that. Let's get on with the doorways. Wowzers, that is a dusty job, but it's gone all right. Took a bit of time, got a little bit of tickling to do, but basically that's the threshold nice and smooth now. So when the door does come, it's going to be a bit easier having them big lumps and bumps. There's a bit of a hump there. I might just give it a bit more back feather, and yeah, I think I'll just give it a good sweep out, blow out, brush it, and just clean it up. Yeah, I've done well. Becky's gone doing the washing my uniform. But yeah, I'm chuffed with that, chuffed. And I'm still going to go in and sit down and watch a Christmas movie with the kids. So it's time to watch Scrooge, the one with Jim Carrey where it's like animated. I love it. I watch it every Christmas like a big kid. So I'll get a load of munchies and sit down with the kids, watch that, and then I'll get gone at about 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So yeah, early start tomorrow. It's going to be a long Monday. But yeah, let's just crack on with it, get it done. So I'll see you next week. And I'm sure Becky's got other little bits and bobs in mind, I think. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you next week.
Morning. Sam's had to go back now for his final week at fireman training. But yeah, it's good that he got that done. Means we can get cracking, get the windows and doors ordered. So for the winter months we've wrapped the run in tarp, put some insulating boards on the top, and they've also got insulating boards around there. Oh, I don't know if you can see. On the roofs and around the backs. And the guinea pig hutch, which is the bigger one, well, the guinea pig hut, which is that one, is fully insulated inside as well. So underneath this is plastic, same stuff that we used in the bottom of our house, like a damp proof course plastic, so that the damp doesn't come up from the ground. And then we put lots of hay and straw, and in the summer we have them out on the grass in the pen. Gives them a change of scenery. Who's this guinea pig?
Jinx.
It's Jinx, that one. They're all female. Rabbits and guinea pigs are all females. They were from a family who could no longer keep them, could they?
Oh yeah.
They had them in a big water tank. In a water tank, didn't they, like we've got? They were in there.
Tank.
The 3 guinea pigs.
It's cosy in there though, it's warm.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
So that's Jinx. We don't really know how old they are. A couple of years maybe?
About 4, maybe 5.
Maybe. So the guinea pigs, as we said, were from a family who could no longer keep them. And the rabbits, someone contacted me actually and said, would I take on these 2 rabbits? So they were with an elderly lady whose daughters they were, but the daughter had gone into full-time care, and then the lady had unfortunately a stroke and was going to need full-time care as well. So there was no one to look after the rabbits, so she contacted me and said, would I take them in? So we did, the 2 rabbits, that's where they came from. Again, I think they're about 4. And I know a few people are saying you shouldn't keep guinea pigs and rabbits together, but we did growing up as kids. And they have their own separate houses. So the rabbits came with a hutch, so that was their own hutch. And they, cat jumping on top of this. they have their space there, so whenever they don't want to be around others, they've got their own space. The guinea pigs don't go in there, and vice versa, the guinea pigs have their own sleeping space, and we find they get on really well. We've never seen a fight. So Euan, what are the guinea pigs' names?
Jinx, Soup and Itsy Bee.
And the rabbits?
Trixie and Blackberry.
Yeah. And which is your favourite?
Jinx.
Jinx.
Yeah, she's probably the most affectionate guinea pig in here.
Yeah, the others are a little bit timid, aren't they?
Yeah. The rabbits don't mind petting.
Yeah.
Blackberry's a bit skittish of being petted, but Trixie's alright. I ring him in the house at night sometimes. And it's so cute, always just running around the front room.
Those who followed us for a while know that when we first moved here, I was kind of getting myself used to the surroundings, and on a walk that I used to do up the lane, we found Toby in a field. He had no shelter and no companionship, and I just shouted Toby one day. I don't know where it came from, it just came out. So the name stuck and he became Toby. And we used to go and see him every day, take him a carrot, and he used to come running over, bellowing. Here he comes.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Had to finish, didn't you? Saying hello. He was just so funny. He's such a little character. But we actually thought he was a female because he was so wide. Thought he was pregnant. So anyway, kind of had a look underneath and saw that actually it's a boy. Well, I had a few sleepless nights over him because we'd had some really bad weather, a lot of storms, and also some very cold, like -7 temperatures. Now donkeys actually, if they're in good condition, can cope with the cold, but it's the rain they don't like, and he didn't have a shelter, as well as no friends. So I left a note quite impulsively on the gate, saying if you don't want this donkey, then give me a call. Literally within a week we had a phone call from the owners to say no, they didn't want him, and they gave me a little bit of background on Toby in that he was a full stallion till he was scratching on the gate and knocking it. That's bad timing, love. Trying to do a level video and you're knocking the camera. This is what I'm working with. They say never work with animals and kids. I know, Toby. Oh, she's done. So as I said, they gave us a call and said Toby is a stallion and he is about 11, they think. They'd actually found him abandoned in a lane near their house. So they already had other donkeys, they brought him in, but sadly Toby had been very aggressive with the other donkeys, male and female, that were in the field, and had some really bad battles. They were quite badly injured, so it really put the fear into me about him with other donkeys. So we took him on anyway because I just couldn't bear the thought of him being alone, and he'd been always great with us. Here's Tilly. So we took him in anyway, as you all know. We got the donkey sanctuary out to give us some advice on him and have a check over, and she recommended that we got him gelded to hopefully mean that he could have a companion. And I knew there was a bit of a risk involved in that because he's older and it's not really ideal, but he was always shouting for company. I have to say it was one of the most traumatic things I've witnessed. It was quite the ordeal, and Toby unfortunately did struggle. He bled a lot. We had to get the vet out 3 times, I think, after the actual operation, because it wasn't great. It was nothing that she did wrong. We had 2 vets from different practices because another vet came to watch, and they did an amazing job and they did the best they can. But with older donkeys there is more of a risk of bleeding, and it does happen, but they managed it brilliantly. And look, he's fine, he's fit and well now, living his best life. But it was not a fun time for any of us, and it took a while to get Toby's trust back, and I found it quite distressing at the time because he'd had the farrier that had been quite bad. His feet were sore for a while, and then that settled down, and then we got him gelded. It felt like he was always we were putting him in pain all the time. It was hard for me to watch at the time, and he kind of took him a while to come back round to trusting me, and I still sometimes think he's not quite how he was when he was a stallion. I don't know if that's my imagination, but he used to really nuzzle on me, and he doesn't do that as much anymore. And he didn't do it, it's nothing to do with Tilly coming, he didn't do it for a while, and so yeah, it was hard for me. But the benefit is that now he's with Tilly. So when we brought, obviously knowing Toby's background, you can imagine that when we got Tilly in, I was absolutely petrified. Oh, this is their first meeting through the gate. Where is it, Toby? I think he's a bit mad.
Nelly, come here.
What is she doing? I don't know if that's happiness or frustration.
I think he's shy. Maybe,
Like
he's angry.
maybe you guys just stand out the way, because I don't know how it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm going up there.
Here he comes. He's back again.
He's quaffing all the food. You know, he's letting her know. He's like, whoa, this is my bucket.
We worked quite closely with the sanctuary on the best way to manage it, and it's all gone amazingly well, and now they're best buds, and it's all gone great, hasn't it, Tubbs? Yeah, you and Tilly are great friends, aren't you? Sometimes a little bit more than friends. Hey? But Toby is now gelded, so no baby donkeys, thankfully. So here we are with little Till. The way you can tell Tilly and Toby apart is Tilly's got kind of a floppy mane, haven't you? You've got a floppy mane. And obviously she's a little bit smaller. Yes, yes you are. Yes. And she's a little bit smaller. Her legs, I think, are a lot thinner than Toby's. And of course she's got that stumpy little swishy tail that's always on the go. Tilly came from a neighbour of ours. I say neighbour loosely, not right around this area, but further down the lane. He had Tilly and he had a few donkeys, and we decided that she might be a good fit for Toby. She's about 8. Tilly is very inquisitive as donkeys go, very food orientated, ridiculously food orientated. So you're all about the food, aren't you? And she has very high pitched whine. Very different to Toby's. It's totally different. In fact, Euan thinks it's a bit eerie if it goes off at night, in the middle of the night. But yeah, you were such a good girl. And I was worried because she had very little contact with people. So basically she was in a field with, I think, a few other donkeys, but she had no shelter or anything like that. And she wasn't used to having any kind of food like we gave her, hence why. You enjoyed the food here, don't you? And you're on a diet now. She's on a diet, aren't you? So she's back to the plain old straw and hay. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's not nice, is it? Right, I'm going to hunt down the next animals that we're going to talk about. But sod's law, they're nowhere to be found. I've spotted them. They're over by the beehive. Well, some of them are. You might be able to see them in there. Well, they do love a good dust bath. Even in the winter months, they'll find anywhere to be scratching around in. And I think they're fishing out all the little bugs and beasties in that bank there. So we have got 5 hens and the cockerel. And the cockerel is named Arlo. We don't name the hens. Not that that's because we eat them, because we certainly don't eat them. We just have them here for their eggs. But we did have 6 originally. And this one particular hen, she was always broody and would always wander off, because as you know, as I said, they're free range. We just let them go where they want to go. We just aim to give them their best lives, really. They tend to stay within the boundaries of the property, but this one particular hen, I don't know what was going on. She just wanted to be, she would go down the lane, she'd squeeze under every little bit of fencing, and she used to have to get up and stalk her down the lane, find out where she was going, take those eggs, bring her back, and hopefully then she would get fed up of laying in the same place because her eggs were always taken. But yeah, it's sad because she just kept doing it, and then one day she just wasn't there at night when I was putting them away. So they're really good. They take themselves to bed as soon as it gets dusk, and I always count them and check they're in the coop. There's an automatic door that shuts, but I always just double check they're all there. And that one day, this is a few weeks ago now, she just wasn't there. I just hoped, I still hope really, that she went and she's raising a clutch of little chicks somewhere, and one day she'll rock back up with them. I've seen these stories happen on the chicken pages that I'm on Facebook, but sadly I think I'm living a pipe dream there. I don't think that's going to happen. I think she wandered too far and was taken. I could fence them in to a big enclosure. I just didn't want that for here. I kind of wanted the wandering around of the chickens, and I think you'll agree who watch us regularly, it's part of the joy of the place that there's always animals wandering around, doing their own thing, living their lives and going to the places they want to go. But that comes with an element of risk, sadly. And like I said, the rest tend to stay close to the cockerel and don't go far. She was just a very independent hen. Speaking of cockerel, I heard his name mentioned. And sadly, I think that's meant that she's paid the price of her life. I don't know. You know, you always worry if you're doing the right thing or not for your animals. We'll get to this needy one, won't we? We'll get to you. As long as you're doing the best you can for your hens and cockerels, if you want to keep cockerels, maybe we might be a lesson as to why you don't want cockerels. But to be fair, he does do a good job of keeping the ladies in check and keeping them together. So yeah, can't fault him, even though he's a little bit annoying sometimes. Anyone from the UK and perhaps Ireland even, who will have watched the original Darling Buds of May with David Jason as Pa and Pam Ferris. I grew up watching that on a Sunday. I think it used to be on a Sunday, and absolutely loved the way they lived. Just a very kind of family orientated, looked after their own. They had animals and they loved the animals, but they were there and serving a purpose, and they weren't keeping them in little pens. They were just letting them roam around and enjoying their lives. And that's kind of what I always hoped for and envisioned, is somewhere similar, somewhere where the kids will always want to come back to, the grandkids will love coming here, and it's a kind of a little bit of a haven, really, tranquil place to come. It's a really strange feeling, an amazing feeling, when something that you've been wanting or never thought you'd get for your whole life. I mean, I always dreamed of having this life, but never thought I'd actually get it. And I feel so grateful, and grateful to Sam as well for sticking with it all and pulling it together for me. You know, I know that there's a lot of things that Sam probably does because of me that he wouldn't do otherwise, you know, and I'm so grateful that he does that, because I know I'm part of it as well, but Sam's really basically given me this life that I've always wanted, and it just shows the kind of person that he is, that he will, even if he doesn't always think it's the best plan. I mean, I'm not sure he's entirely convinced on donkeys, to be fair, or a cockerel, or any of it, really. You know, he loves it all. He loves the animals, but I definitely am the pushing force behind it. I'm definitely the one that says, well, I think we should get these, don't you think? And he'll go, yeah, okay. And bless him, he does. He goes with it because he knows it makes me happy to have all these animals here. And I think that's what I always hope to have. A house that's like a real home. Arlo's running because there's a hen that's laying in the barn and she's making a racket. And that's how good he is. You see, bless him. He's going to see why she's upset. They make that noise all the time. I'm not worried. There might be a cat milling about and they don't like it when they're trying to lay and the cat's going, because she's laying in the barn. The other joy of free-ranging hens, they lay anywhere and everywhere. And I know a few people have said, oh, you should keep them in longer. They just seem really distressed when I do that, and they're just pacing and pacing to get out of the coop. I mean, I think if we had a bigger coop set up with a bigger run area, I'd probably be more likely to do that. So in the future, and with the new hens, we might try and do that. But for now, I can't do it to these guys. They've never had that before, been restricted, and they really don't like it. So it's just a case of hunt the egg. I can normally figure it out. They don't go far. They're either normally in the barn, occasionally in the hedgerow. Not often, but occasionally. Euan stumbled on some the other day near the rope swing, just on the ground, not even really very hidden. So yeah, it's always an adventure owning hens. Yeah, here she is. Really? All that racket? But yeah, eggs in the barn. Come on then, out you go. We foster for the Roscommon SPCA, and Otis was our first one. He was just a tiny little thing that we rescued. He was found under someone's car, and yeah, we took him in, and it was planned was just to foster and not to keep him, but he definitely captured a certain person's heart. Yeah, Sam, totally. Sam and Otis have a very strong bond, so there was no way he was going to be going anywhere, so he's ended up staying. And we adopted him, and he's very different to the other three that we got when we first arrived here. He's very affectionate, and he never really wanders far at all. You know, he's still quite young. I suppose about 6 months. Oh, monkey. And he's definitely more affectionate than the other ones, and needy is probably a word I would use. Bless him. It's very similar markings to Jasper, and sometimes now he's getting bigger, it's hard to often tell them apart, but he has got a little white patch there under his chin that Jasper doesn't have, so that's the only way of telling them apart. So we got Nell back in February, didn't we? Because sadly her owner passed away. So we saw some friends of ours were talking about her on Facebook, saying they were trying to find a new home for her because it was his mum that had passed away. So we messaged and said, listen, we will take her. She looked like she was the perfect fit for here. You just know, don't you? You just get a vibe. But anyway, they brought her up in February, and we just fell in love with her, and she's been here ever since, haven't you? Yeah. So Nell comes from a long line of working dogs, quite a prestigious line, I believe, but she has never been a working dog, but as you perhaps saw on a few videos back, she's definitely got it in her. She's very good at herding. She herds everything here. Don't you? You're always trying to herd everything. She's always got their best interests at heart. She's not too bad. I've seen collies that are worse, you know, at stalking. She does tend to like move on after a few minutes of staring at the cats, she'll just go, okay, you're not moving anywhere, so I can relax now. Another good thing about Nell is if anything's missing, if you can't find anything, she'll find it for you. So if I can't find the donkey, just ask Nell. Where's Toby now? Where's Toby? If I can't find the chickens, she'll find the chickens. And if I can't find the cats, she always knows where the cats are. So yeah, she's pretty good at that. No, come. Good girl now. Sit. Well, this is a bit of a different scenario since I last was filming. Yeah, I've had a bit of a break and we've been very busy, as you can tell. I was feeling pretty rough earlier this week, so sadly I didn't get my video out on Wednesday as I'd hoped for. I did put a post out, I think a few people saw it. I got so many messages of get well soon messages, so thanks everybody. I've still got a bit of a headache, it's just niggling away. I just feel very wiped out and tired. I think it's just been harder than expected not having Sam here, filming myself and editing myself, and I found it quite stressful, to be honest. Just me. I felt like it was a lot of pressure. So yeah, I've done my best, but hopefully normal service will be resumed from next Saturday with more work on the cottage. So tomorrow we've got the guy coming to measure the windows, the final measure, so that hopefully the windows will be coming, and we've also got the electrician and plumber coming to work out where everything's going and sort that getting booked in. So it's all really exciting. And then I think Sam is going to be doing the stud walls to separate all the different rooms off. So there's plenty going to be happening between now and when the windows come in. So yeah, I hope you stick with us. Sam is home tonight. It's Friday. It's finally done. He's 3 weeks. Still sat here now waiting to find out if he's passed. I think he has to kind of an interview, and they let him know if all the assessments that he's done through the week have been passed or not. I've got every confidence in him. He seems to have been doing well from what he's told me, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But the kids and I decided it would be really nice to have all the Christmas decorations up and ready for him when he comes back. He doesn't know we've done that, so it'll be a nice surprise for him when he gets back, that everything is nice and done and he doesn't have to worry about doing that. I was up a ladder this morning in my pyjamas putting up the lights outside. It was a real Clark Griswold moment. So yeah, I've done it of a fashion. Sam would probably have done it very differently, but at least it'll be done. And when he drives in, anyway, I've waffled on enough, but yeah, it's nice to get ready for Christmas. I love Christmas. We spent a while, the kids and I, doing some decorating of gingerbread house and a gingerbread train. Euan did the train, Isabella did the house. So we've had a quite nice few days just relaxing and getting the caravan ready for Christmas. But there were a few animals that I haven't finished off talking about in the video, so let's get that sort of finished and done. I haven't talked about the 3 original cats. Well, they were kittens when we got them. So that's Jasper, Felix and Onyx. Jasper and Felix are brothers. Onyx is somehow related. There are tabby markings in his black coat and you can see them in certain lights. So we got them when we arrived here last September. They were outdoor kitten. The parents were outdoor cats and they weren't allowed in the house. So to them, being here is probably like a real luxury. We put the cat flap in for them, and yeah, they're in and out as and when they want to be. A lot of the time they'll sleep in the barn during the day. More often they're on Isabella's bed when the weather's bad, like today. Jasper is the meanie of the bunch. He's always picking the fights. Nothing major, obviously. I mean, they're all neutered, but he tends to be the trouble causer. And Onyx is a little bit more standoffish, and him and Jasper tend to be the ones that fight the most. He tends to always be on the outer edge of any of the cat cuddles that they have when they all bundle together. He's sometimes there, but he's always kind of on the edge. He never gets piled in with the others, with all the gingers. Felix, I would say Felix is the most cuddliest, although Jasper can be cuddly as well. Onyx, he's a bit of a standoffish loner. It's now and again he will come for cuddles, not often at all. More so with all of them really, with Sam than me. I'm more of a dog person, Sam was more of a cat person. But yeah, that gives you a brief history of the cats and where they came from. So they were all from the same place, those original 3. But they're great rat catchers because the barn was full of rats when we first got here, and now thankfully there don't seem to be any. So they're doing a really good job with that. Oh, Benji. Come on, Benj. Here he is. Come here, Benji. He's never far. He's a bit of a lap dog, aren't you? Yeah, are you coming in? Come on then. Benji is our longest standing pet, aren't you? Yeah. So we got Benji as a rescue in 2021, I think. Our previous rescue dog, Jakey, who we'd had for 13 years, died in the first COVID lockdown. And Sam and I, honestly, the kids, we were just heartbroken. It was awful. We got him from Manchester Dogs Home, and I actually got him the weekend after I met Sam. So Jakey was our, oh yeah, it was just the worst when Jakey went. He was just our first baby and first dog together, and it was horrible. But we said, oh no, we're not getting any more dogs. And then my sister sent me this person advertised on Facebook, of all places. So I just messaged and went and got him, and he's been with us ever since. He's a little bit nervy. He wasn't treated very well, I think, by the kids, the grandchildren of the person that had him before. She had 7 grandchildren, and I think they used to kind of treat him like a bit of a toy, and yeah, he's a little bit nervous with new people. But he's definitely the most well-travelled Chihuahua, aren't you? Been everywhere. And he's dead easy, aren't you? Dead easy to look after. He is about 8, although he looks a lot older, I know. He's just had a hard life as Benji, so he looks a bit older. We always say he looks like Master Shifu off Kung Fu Panda. I was never I never imagined myself with a Chihuahua, but yeah, he's a little cutie, and he comes in and out of the cat flap, so he picks and chooses when he's outside, hence why he's not always shown on the videos. He much prefers to be inside, cosy and warm, than out there like Nell. But him and Nell get on really, really well, so that's good. And yeah, that's our Benj, the most well-travelled Chihuahua. I think that pretty much wraps up all the animals. I think I've said everything about all of them. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there this week, and we will hopefully catch you next Saturday with, fingers crossed, normality again, and Sam back full time. Yeah, so it'd be nice to get back to not just be me do the videos. Right guys, see you next Saturday. Bye for now.